Hey everybody, welcome to another home vlog episode of Fastpass with us. I'm Jason.
I'm Amber.
And I'm John, the Halloween guy.
And I'm Ashley, the Halloween gal.
And today we are going to talk about some of the things that were revealed and announced at Midsummer Scream. You guys were there, which is the reason we wanted you guys on the podcast. First podcast, yeah, video. This is a video. Wow, why you gotta call me out like that on the video? Okay, hold on. You know, everybody turn your volume down. Why you gotta call me out like that? On our video. So we're off to a fantastic start. What was the vibe like, you guys? You guys were there. I saw some videos. Looks like it was super crowded.
Yeah, no, it was definitely crowded, very hot. That was kind of the theme even last year. It was very warm. And so you definitely noticed it because there wasn't a lot of people dressed up like there has been in the past. Like there's still some great costumes and fantastic cosplayers, but there just wasn't like an army or swarm of costume characters like there has been. But still, it's always a great event. We have so much fun.
Yeah. Such amazing vendors, and the panels are great. Even the smaller panels that people don't necessarily know the names of are really great panels. And Hall of Shadows is fun as always. It's just a good time. Like you just feel, I don't know, for us we kind of just feel like we're at home. Like it's like our people, you know.
Like Han Solo and Chewie going on the Millennium Falcon when we go in there.
Yeah.
I told Amber after watching some videos, I said, I want to go next year. We have never been to Midsummer Scream. I've gotten to go to the Awaken the Spirits event, which was like their smaller event that they did right after COVID because Midsummer got canceled. So that was like them trying to do something. And then I've been able to attend the Season Screamings event, but it's nowhere near what the Midsummer Scream event is. And I've wanted to go, and I think next year is 2024 going to be the year I'm for sure going to go. Okay, so let's dive into some of the announcements we got. We'll talk about some of the haunts that we're going to be going to, and some of the ones now because of these announcements that we will be attending that we were not planning on going on to. Yeah. So
I week-long trip.
I put these in the order they were announced live, except for one. I put Knots at the end because that had the most stuff to talk about. So I'm just going to put that at the end for us to go through all of that. But I'm going to start with LA Haunted Hayride. Bub didn't know this. I told him about it today that they have new wagons this year that they're making because before they were just like flatbed wagons that used to have to go sit literally on the hay on just the bottom of it.
Crisscross applesauce.
Yep, crisscross applesauce, but they've put hay bales in there now. There's 3 rows of them, so you actually get to sit down on hay bales, and that'll just be so much better. Ash, you are very tall. I'm sure that is like a joy to hear for you.
Because 2 years ago I had a horrible time on the hayride. Like it made the whole event it ruined it for me because they were cattling people in so fast.
Yeah.
And they were yelling at you to sit down, and I have really bad knees. So to sit down on something like that where you don't really have a full handle to like grab at height level to get down to. So,
I don't know how it was for you guys, but when you went, did they put you guys like in 3? Or was it just people on each side?
Yeah, we had 3. We had 1 row on each side, and then they put people down the middle.
Yeah, that to have everyone just sit down on top of each other is like crazy.
It's rough.
I know for us, it's just going to depend on if they start the event early enough for us to make it to it. We're located in the valley, so it is not easy for us to go out to LA to do all these haunt events. So we try to do as many as we can on one like shot.
Swoop.
And
as early as we can in haunt season.
Yeah, so we're gonna be out there, and we're really hoping that it'll be starting in like mid-September for us to be able to attend this on Thursday. Mm-hmm. That's the plan, at least. If not, we're gonna miss it. But they announced that Trick or Treat and Midnight Mortuary are returning. And
Freaking loved Midnight Mortuary. That one scared the crap out of me.
they have one new maze this year. It's the Hellbilly Halloween.
Yeah.
So not a whole lot of new stuff there. I'm assuming it was the Wrong Turn one diner thing. That's the one that they're
Dead End Diner.
Probably be similar.
and then they what's his name? Monty Revolta will be returning. They specifically said.
Yes.
I loved when he came out and he's like, "Oh, the new wagon's got a bigger pop than I did."
Oh, that was on like the interview thing. He came out.
Yeah, he came out during the panel.
He's amazing.
He really is.
And then for those of you that haven't been to Hayride, the one thing that's like my absolute favorite thing about Hayride is the characters that are running around that are in this immersive
Midnight
bubble
Falls.
in Midnight Falls, and the interaction that you have with them. Their character development is on point. Like, you have some of the best conversations. It's my favorite part of Hayride.
So when Amber and I went, and we went for the first time, it felt to us, we both compared it to Halloween Town as like the vibe we got there.
Yeah.
It really like exudes Halloween, like in general. Like when you step into Midnight Falls, it's like, this is Halloween Town.
I know. Let's just put a note on there. 10 years of Haunt Trip that I've been around for, and this is the first time that we're all going together, and I'm so excited for it.
It's finally happened.
Yeah.
Finally happening.
You know what else might be happening? Shacktoberfest is returning this year, and if LA Haunted Hayride doesn't get started, but Shacktoberfest does, we might be doing that instead.
So
Absolutely.
just to clarify, dates are not out for these?
Correct.
Okay.
But this is kind of cool. They've announced that they're doing 500 trails, and you will now be on the ship this year, which they stopped doing for
COVID?
No, I think it was
Renos.
Before COVID, right? You guys
It
know
was for renovations because
yeah.
of the damage to the ship, and they just completed renovations. So
It was kind of a 2-for-1 thing. Like, COVID happened, delayed everything, and then when it didn't happen, they were having the issues with the ship and stuff. So it just kind of
worked out for them
never
to do
came back.
renovations, and then Shaq stepped in to do the event, and he kind of brought a new life to the Queen Mary, because obviously it was popular enough that they're doing it again. And the other note that was up there, I guess part of like the thing is, it's going to be less family friendly this year and darker, which that's good. That's right up our alley.
It's cool because the way that event works is, like they say it's more of like a festival. It's more of like a Halloween festival. You know, Lovecraft will be there performing. And it's one of those things where during the day they have them as trick-or-treat trails, and then they have their witching hour. So once it hits the time, the scares come out. And the storyline for the trail inside of the Queen Mary like got me amped up, because they said,
I didn't hear about this, so yeah, go ahead, do it.
So what it was is they used the Queen Mary back in World War II to help transport troops. And when they did that, they had to paint it because it couldn't be its colors. It couldn't be its bright white with the red stacks. So they painted the whole ship gray, like army gray. And they said when it would go out, sometimes out in the fog, you couldn't see the ship. So it became known as
the ghost ship.
Yeah, it was like the ghost. Ghost ship basically, or the Gray Ghost. That's what they're calling it. Was the Gray Ghost. And so now they said they're bringing that storyline back for this walkthrough, and it's called the Gray Ghost. It's the walkthrough.
Cool. Next up, we're going to talk about the event that came out guns a-blazing.
Guns a-blazing.
They are, for their 30th anniversary, wanting to really step up and make themselves be known this year and compete with a Knott's Scary Farm and a Halloween Horror Nights. That's Six Flags Magic Mountain's Fright Fest. It is their 30th anniversary. They are doing a Saw 10 maze and The Conjuring, and it is the first time ever that they're doing an IP maze for Fright Fest up there. And I think I had talked to my brother about this earlier, and he had said that he thinks because they're kind of in with Warner Brothers that this might be something, if it's successful, we could see this going forward happening for them.
Oh, well, it will be. There's no way it won't be.
Which, to put it into perspective, you guys were already talking about possibly going before this was announced.
Yeah.
Once this got announced, Amber and I decided we are going to it. So we cannot be the only other people in the world that feel that way. How many other people are going to go, holy crap, Saw 10 and Conjuring at, Fright Fest? Absolutely.
I mean, I hate to say it, but a bunch of vloggers would be stupid not to go.
Yeah.
And to cover that and be the first ones to be like, oh yeah, come check this out.
But it's also a really good opportunity for Six Flags to open their doors and get that crowd and that following that's going in there, and to start getting that funding like Knott's and Universal, where the Halloween events do so well for them. It helps fund other things in the park because they just make so much money from it because it's just so ridiculously popular.
Yeah.
Moving on, we've gotten another house announcement for Halloween Horror Nights. Ash was right. We have a Halloween group chat that we talk about this stuff all year long. But please forgive me if I pronounce this wrong. It's Monstruos, the Monsters of Latin America. Did I get that right?
Yes, Monstros. Yes.
Okay. Now, this is where I'm going to butcher this. I have the 3 monsters' names that are showcased. Do you guys know the monsters' names? Are you going to make them pronounce it, or are you going to say them?
We'll let you try to pronounce them, because even Murdy joked with people about if they could pronounce them.
Okay, it's Tlahapuchi.
That's pretty close.
Okay, all right. And she looks like some kind of bird, lady.
Yeah. She's like a bird witch. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, bird witch. That's what the artwork looked like. La Shuza is owl lady, and this is the logo that Ash deciphered, and this is who Ash thought the maze was going to be about. So she was pretty spot on because she's in there.
Dang.
Yeah. Halloween gal making it happen. And then the last monster is El Cibon.
El Cibon. Yeah, El Cibon.
He looks creepy. He's like a skinny looking guy. Very, very creepy. I saw the image of him and I went, oh, I don't like that. I was
the story that they told of him, oh my gosh. And the fact that you're going to get taken into this story is going to be insane.
So what's
this is all, hold on, this is all one maze with the 3 monsters in it, and is this them moving on from La Llorona to more?
Yes.
Okay.
They're doing more inclusivity with different cultures, and the Latin culture is a really big hit for them, and Murdy touched on that, and so they wanted to expand. And so they really did their research into the folklore and the history. El Cibon creeps me out. The fact Murdy talked about his whistle.
What's his story?
So because he's also known as the Whistler. That's what his name means. And his story was he's like a farmer, and he was in love with this girl that his father did not approve of. And so his father killed the woman, and then the kid killed his dad, and then his grandpa basically saw that he had killed his dad, and so he took him out in the woods, and he tied him up and beat him with what did he beat him with? Do you remember? He beat him with some, and so then he took his dad's bones and put him in a bag and made him basically have to
carry his father's around.
Bones. And then so what happened is, and he banished him. So then he went out in the woods, and then they said after years and years goes by, all of a sudden he comes out of the woods, and you would hear his whistle to tell when he was near. But they said it was weird because when his whistle was low and sounded far away, he was actually right next to you. Oh, and then when his whistle was loud, it actually meant he was further away. And so they said at one point he just does this massacre. And so his bag is enormous. And so it's sitting there, and then there's the drapes, and you're going to walk into his bag.
I saw that on the artwork. Yeah.
It's like a crypt of his bag of bones that you're going to walk into.
Yeah.
Right.
He didn't discuss what we'll see. So That's a question mark.
Yeah.
Okay, so now comes the huge Not Scary Farm 50th announcements were insane. And they didn't even announce
reveal.
Yeah, they're doing a special event August 24th. It's sold out so fast.
Yeah.
I was blown away. But it's called Nightmares Revealed. That's where they're going to reveal all the mazes and scare zones. They didn't do any of that. They had so many things to talk about. It's crazy. So,
well, we did get one announcement. We got an icon announcement. They're releasing a new icon.
That's the keeper, who is based off of the original host that they used to have, Sinister Seymour. And I saw him on Adam the Woo's video, and he's hilarious. So I'm looking forward to seeing him. They announced they will have a LED conductor's lantern that it comes with a ghost map, and you basically can take it around the entire park and activate over 100 different elements in mazes, scare zones, and throughout the park. And that's just crazy. That's like some Disney level stuff. That's huge.
It's like, look at Universal, what they have with Wizarding World and Super Nintendo World.
Yeah.
Those are just lands that they've turned into an all-day attraction. Experience.
Yeah.
And so now it literally, what they've done is they've turned Not Scary Farm into a multi-night event.
I was thinking the exact same thing. I'm like, you have to go for a couple nights to get through this thing. Yeah, and the lanterns look cool. I don't know how much they're going to cost, but
they didn't say that.
They didn't say that, but I'm going to assume that it's going to be anywhere from $55.99 to $75.99.
Yeah, that's. I was thinking that. That's a solid guess. I'm assuming our group may get a lantern when we go.
Oh, absolutely, we will.
We're getting one.
We're getting one.
We're getting one, if not two.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, depends on the price.
So, they also, the Emporium that's outside the park, they're transforming that into a legacy store, similar to the ones that are at Universal Studios Florida that they do. But this is all Not Scary Farm stuff that they're filling with the entire thing.
Past your memorabilia
and a museum. It's going to be crazy. And then I didn't realize this, but I guess so. It's open during the day; anybody can go. But at night, when Not Scary Farm starts, the store is closed, but you can get to it through Not Scary Farm. That's pretty rad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they're going to create a whole trail.
Yeah,
like a decorated trail and everything to get to it, which I'm pretty sure will be over there. It's got to be under Ghost Rider, over there by where Waxworks is.
Probably, I'm going to assume. I'll bet you anything. It's the entrance that we would take when we would go to the buffet. That's it. If you watch our video, because it does go under Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
And it takes you right through there. I'll bet you that's, to me, makes the most sense as to where you would go in. And where you can get people to come out and keep it to where it's not going to be crazy. The other big news that I'm really excited about and I really want to get is they are re-releasing a book, The History of Not Scary Farm by Ted Doherty, and it's only available at the event. And
he'll be there signing them.
He'll be there signing them, yeah. And from what I heard, this book, before this re-release is happening, it is ridiculously expensive to try and get your hands on. It's over $100 on eBay to try and get it.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited that it's being re-released. I definitely want to get one. And that's all I have. Was there anything on Knots that I don't have?
How about all the hinting about the hanging and all the talking that they did about the hanging?
So much hints at the hanging coming back.
Oh, please come back. That was the best show.
And I think if they bring it back, they'll bring it back more true to what it was, of the hanging of the witch. more so than it being the pop culture one that we were used to.
We were used to.
I think they would go back and do it based on the Sarah Marshall thing, to where you kind of witness that happening, and then it would play off of Origins.
Yeah,
So,
which would be really smart.
Yeah.
For the 50th. Oh man, Knott's is freaking. This year is insane. Like it is insane. Actually,
Fright Fest 30th, Knott's is 50th. HHN lineup in Hollywood is actually looking pretty decent. Like I'm pretty excited for some of the stuff.
HHN is my favorite event out of everything so far. It's at the bottom of my list.
Yeah,
it is my favorite event, and right now I'm the most excited for Knott's, and Fright Fest is number 2 for me because we obviously have only been to Discovery Kingdom and it was awful. Don't go to Six Flags Discovery Kingdom for Fright Fest. Watch that video. Link in the description. We're going to be doing Tricks and Treats, Great America. I'm pretty positive we're going to make it out to what is it? Gilroy Gardens. I don't think we're going to do the camp out, but we're still going to try and make it out there for their Halloween stuff because Amber wants to try that giant chocolate Reese's Pieces thing.
Oh yeah,
diabetes on a plate, like holy crap.
Yeah.
So, guys, we have so many things coming up. Before we sign off here, though, I want to give a special shout out to the Entertainment Connection for providing us all the pictures that I'm going to be able to use for the video. So thank you very much for that. And we'll see you around.